It was a lot. Good morning, Cinnaminson Pirates, and welcome back to Chs Tv. I'm Maddie Conjemi.
And I'm Matt Krupa. Thanks for tuning in after this long week. Attention all athletes. The sign up for spring sports is still open until February 26. Registration is available online on the school website under athletes. Any registration after that date will not be accepted. Spring sports are set to begin on March 5th.
The school doctor will be in school on March 4th and March 25th for working people physicals. See the nurse for any questions and to schedule an appointment.
Are you struggling with a subject? Do you need help studying for an important test? NHS tutoring has and will still be offered every Tuesday after school in the library. Go to the library any Tuesday after school and an NHS member will be available to assist you free of charge.
Congratulations to Dylan Samola on being the gold coin winner for week 2 in the month of perseverance. And also, congratulations to Rachel Pierce for being the winner of week 3. Dylan was nominated by Mrs. Demary and Rachel was nominated by Mrs. Schweitzer. Please pick up your gold coins in the main office.
Copies of the book Just Mercy are still available in the library for sign out. There will be a discussion in the library on February 26 at 2:15 to talk about social justice. Join the conversation and take part in change.
To continue our celebration of Black History Month, this week's Today in History highlights Fannie Lee Hammer, who was an important American voting and women's rights activist. Take a look.
Born in 1917 as the last of 20 children into a family of sharecroppers in Mississippi, Fannie Lee Hammer, through education and activism, became one of the leaders of the 1960s civil rights movement. She attended a one-room schoolhouse and learned to read using the Bible. Once the plantation owner discovered Hammer was literate, he promoted her to record keeper. In the 1950s, Hammer became involved in local civil rights meetings addressing the issue of voting rights. Using poll taxes, literacy tests, and violence, white Mississippians had virtually prevented African Americans in the state from voting, even though the 15th Amendment granted this right nearly 90 years earlier. During this time period, less than 7% of African Americans in Mississippi were registered to vote. In 1962, Hammer tried to register to vote but failed the rigged literacy test requirement. She returned to her home where the plantation owner fired her and kicked her off of the property. Just days later, white supremacists attempted to kill her in a drive-by shooting. Surviving that attack, Hammer was even more determined to register to vote. On her third try, she passed the literacy test and was now a registered voter in Mississippi. When she attempted to vote for the first time, she was denied again because she had not paid the 2 poll taxes. She eventually paid those taxes and voted in 1963. Motivated by her struggles, Hammer attended civil rights meetings held by Martin Luther King's SCLC, as well as the Student Nonviolence Coordinating Committee, or SNCC. In 1964, Hammer helped organize the famous Mississippi Freedom Summer, in which college students from across the country came to register African Americans in Mississippi so they could vote. When 3 civil rights workers went missing and later found dead, the nation's attention was on the injustices of Mississippi's Jim Crow way of life. In 1964, Hammer co-founded the Freedom Democratic Party and boycotted the Democratic National Convention when their delegation would not be recognized by the National Democratic Party. That same year, she ran for the U.S. Senate. Hammer's activism helped lead to the 1964 Civil Rights Act and the 1965 Voting Rights Act. By 1968, her Freedom Democratic Party was seated in the Democratic Convention and represented all of the people in Mississippi. Hammer continued her activism until her death in 1977 at the age of 59. Civil rights activist Andrew Young delivered her eulogy. He summarized Hammer's contributions towards a more equal society, saying, "None of us would be where we are now had she not been there then." Today, Hammer's legacy continues to impact citizens all across America every time someone votes in an election. This is why we remember Fannie Lee Hammer this Black History Month.
Thank you, Micaiah. Tonight's the boys basketball team is playing away versus Camden Academy Charter School at 5:30. On Saturday, starting at 9 a.m., the wrestling team will compete in the varsity districts at Pemberton High School. And on Monday, the girls basketball team is playing home versus Haddon Township starting at 5:15. Best of luck to everyone, and don't forget to come out and support the Pirates.
Hey, Maddie, what's your favorite subject in school?
Well, that's easy. Science.
That's gotta be one of the worst.
You can't be serious right now. What's your favorite?
It's history, 100%.
And you're saying science is the worst?
Absolutely. That's my least favorite subject. I never want to take it again.
Whatever. I'm sure the teachers in our school will say otherwise if we ask them. Let's check it out on this week's Ask the Staff.
Each week, we ask the staff a different question. This week, we asked them, what was your least favorite subject? Let's take a look.
History. No offense.
History.
You're lying.
I'm not lying. History. I had a series of incredibly dry teachers.
Science.
Probably physics. It was really hard.
Math and science. Chemistry, I failed chemistry in high school. It's a confession.
Sorry, this whole department. Science.
Chemistry. Chemistry, definitely.
I was gonna say driver's ed, but I kind of like driver's ed, so maybe chemistry.
Probably science. I loved history and math. Usually you think math and science go hand in hand, but yeah, science wasn't my MO.
Science.
Anything science. Biology, chemistry.
Math. My brother was my teacher.
Algebra.
Math.
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 Geometry.
Math.
Math.
Math, geometry. Awful, awful.
I liked math, but I hated advanced math such as algebras. Once we got to algebras and trigs and calculuses, that's when I was out.
Math. Geometry. Math.
Typing. Typing, yes, I'm that old. Typing.
English. Still is today.
Poetry, or lit and poetry.
Probably lit.
English.
My least favorite subject in high school was French.
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 Foreign language. I had French and I did not enjoy it at all.
Gym.
My least favorite subject is...
So, Maddie, do you still think science is the best subject?
Don't even bring it up.
Well, all right. That does it for today's show. If you have any questions, concerns, segment ideas, or just want to tell us what your least favorite subject is, email us at cinnaminsontv@gmail.com.
From all of us here at Chs Tv, thank you for watching and enjoy the rest of your Friday.